Welcome to the Daily Gospel John. Glad you're watching. Taking a look at verses 18 through 30 in John 13. Jesus is speaking. I am not referring to all of you. I know those I have chosen. But this is to fulfill the scripture, he who shares my bread has lifted up his heel against me. I am telling you now before it happens, so when it does happen, you will believe that I am he. I tell you the truth, whoever accepts anyone I send accepts me. And whoever accepts me accepts the one who sent me. After he had said this, Jesus was troubled in spirit and testified, I tell you the truth, one of you is going to betray me. His disciples stared at one another, at a loss to know which of them he meant. One of them, the disciple whom Jesus loved, was reclining next to him. Simon Peter motioned to this disciple and said, Ask him which one he means. Leaning back against Jesus, he asked him, Lord, who is it? Jesus answered, It is the one to whom I will give this piece of bread when I have dipped it in the dish. Then dipping the piece of bread, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, son of Simon. As soon as Judas took the bread, Satan entered him. What you are about to do, do quickly, Jesus told him. But no one at the meal understood why Jesus said this to him. Since Judas had charge of the money, some thought Jesus was telling him to buy what was needed for the feast or to give something to the poor. As soon as Judas had taken the bread, he went out, and it was night. Okay, a lot going on there. So Jesus wanted his disciples to be fully aware that the darkness that was about to unfold in the next few days was not catching him off guard, was not blindsiding him in any way. He knew what was coming. He was expecting it. He wanted them to know that he was expecting it and that he was walking into it willingly with his eyes wide open. Remember, he said, Let us work while it is day, for night approaches when no one can work. And he spoke very plainly about this betrayal. It was hurting him for sure. He was troubled, but he spoke plainly. It's interesting that Simon Peter whispered to John, who was leaning back against Jesus, and said, Ask him who it is. Ask him who the betrayer is. Jesus then said, the one that I'm about to dip this bread and give to, he's the betrayer. So then he dips it and gives it to Judas Iscariot, and then says, what you're about to do, do quickly. And he scurries out of the room, and the guys didn't get it. That is, it's puzzling to me, and I think that it may be that part of our human nature is that we really don't like to face the darkness that may be right in front of us. We don't like to admit the storm clouds that are gathering on the horizon and maybe are much closer than we want them to be. And so in a sense we blind ourselves or ignore it. I wonder if we might be at one of those times in history. I do believe a lot of the prophecies are being and have been fulfilled that would indicate that we're close to the end times. And there are some pretty specific prophecies concerning Israel as a nation and considering the nations that will gather against Israel in the last days and seek to destroy her. There's other signs as well, but whether I do not claim to be a prophet, but I do think both in this culture and around the world, we're facing some dark storm clouds ahead. And I want to walk into that with my eyes wide open, and I think God would have us do so, and that's why he gives us the prophecies of what's to come in the time of tribulation. He gives us these prophecies ahead of time. Well, I appreciate that you watched, and may God bless you as you sort through what may lie ahead. God bless.